You're at the dealer. Brand new BMW 3 Series under the lights, fob warm in your hand, and the guy slides the paper over. 49 grand, or just $680 a month. Like that makes it smaller. And every cell in your body wants to sign. Don't. Because the price isn't the thing that's going to cost you here. There's another number, and this whole dealership runs on you never doing the math on it. Two guys, same parking lot. One's climbing into a beat-up F-150 with 190,000 miles. The other's sliding into a brand new $180,000 G-Wagon that still smells like money. One of them's worth more than you'll make in your entire life, and it's not automatically the G-Wagon guy. Because whichever one it is, they're running the exact same play. You just can't see it yet. Here's what the internet gets backwards. There's no magic millionaire car. What they've got is a math problem they solved, and you didn't. And it starts with a fact that stings a little. A car is not an asset. It's a liability with cup holders. Money doesn't grow in there, it dies in there. So the whole game, for the janitor with $1 million and the actual billionaire, is losing as little as humanly possible. Watch what happens the second you drive that BMW off the lot. Boom! About 20% of it evaporates. Gone. And it keeps bleeding. AAA says a new car runs you about $11,577 a year to own, and the biggest chunk, around $4,334, isn't gas, insurance, or the loan. It's just the car being worth less every day. That's the real payment. Invisible, automatic, and you make it whether you financed or paid cash. So here's the number the rich actually run. A real millionaire keeps about 1% of everything they own tied up in their car. 1%. Guess what a normal person sinks in? Closer to 30. Same roads, completely different life, and that gap isn't a symptom of being rich. It's the cause. Their money's out there working. Yours is in the driveway, quietly shrinking. And what they drive is almost rude. Warren Buffett kept a 2006 Cadillac for 8 years. I only drive like 3,500 miles a year. Zuckerberg keeps getting caught in a $30,000 Acura and a Honda Fit. Sam Walton, the Walmart guy, drove a 1979 pickup till the day he died. It's in a museum now. That's not cheap for the camera. That's a person who'd rather set money on fire than watch it disappear in a car. So move number one, and you can steal it today. That brutal 20% first-year drop, they let you take it. They buy the thing 2, 3 years old, after some other guy already ate 30 to 50% of the value for them. New car's about 49 grand. Same car, lightly used, around 26. That's a $20,000 head start somebody already paid for, and you're about to walk right past it. But 2026 broke the old rule, and nobody updated the advice. Used car loans right now run about 11.4%. New ones, 6.4%. Crispy credit? Past 21. That gap on a $26,000 loan can quietly eat the savings you thought you scored. So just buy used isn't the rule anymore. The rule is pay cash or keep the loan short and mean. Stretch it out and you hand the discount right back to the bank. And which cars hold their money? Not the ones that look like it. Nearly 1 million cars of data say trucks and hybrids lose the least. Toyota Tacoma, Tundra, Honda Civic. The stuff that screams, I made it, luxury badges, shiny new EVs, falls off a cliff. So that boring truck isn't the guy who couldn't afford nicer. It's the guy whose car flat out refused to lose him money. How brutal. A $90,000 luxury SUV and a $30,000 Camry can lose the same number of actual dollars in 5 years. The fancy one just loses a bigger slice and costs a fortune to fix. And the worst offender on the road? A Nissan Leaf, down about 63% in 5 years. Electric and luxury cars make up 24 of the 25 fastest dropping vehicles out there. Buying one new to feel like somebody is the most expensive feeling you can buy. But flip that same fact over, and you land on the best cash deal on the road. Because EVs crater so hard, a used one's basically a steal. A used EV averages 34 grand, and a 2020 Tesla Model 3 long range starts around $23,000. You just inherit the last owner's pain as your discount. One catch, and I won't lie, those $4,000 and $7,500 EV tax credits died in September 2025. So it's a cheap sticker play now, not a tax play. So how much car can you actually afford without lying to yourself? One dumb simple guardrail, 20/4/10, 20% down. Loan no longer than 4 years. Need 6 or 7 to swing it. Sit down, you can't. And keep everything, payment, gas, insurance, repairs, under 10% of what you make. That's a ceiling, not a goal. A wall you're supposed to not run into. Now the part that should rattle you. To afford the average used car under that rule, you'd need to make about $120,000 a year. The typical American household makes $83,730. So the average car already needs an income most people flat out don't have. Which means average isn't safe, and it isn't responsible. Average is already overspending. Everybody around you is drowning in the perfectly normal amount of car. But the write-off. Yeah, the G-Wagon loophole. Rich people get their cars free. TikTok says so. Okay, it's real. So let me show you, and then the part they cut right before. A vehicle over 6,000 pounds, used more than half the time for a real business, dodges the normal limits. In 2026, you write off up to $32,000 right away, and bonus depreciation eats the rest. So yeah, a $100,000 business SUV, deducted in a single year. Which sure sounds like free money, doesn't it? Except it's not free at all. A write-off isn't a coupon for the price. It just hands you back your tax rate. So a $150,000 write-off at the top 37% bracket saves you $55,500 in taxes, and you still spent $94,500 of your own cash. You spent $1 to save 37 cents. And if your business use slips or you sell too soon, the IRS yanks it all back as income. It's not a gift. It's a discount wearing a gift's clothes. And the part that should really annoy you? It was never about the G-Wagon. That truck qualifies because it's heavy, not because it's a Mercedes. A Ford F-150, a Tahoe, a 4Runner, a Cadillac Escalade. They all clear the exact same rule for way less money. The billionaires buying the rule. You got sold the badge. That's the whole difference, and it costs about $100,000. And here's the part actually for you. Since you probably don't have a $100,000 business truck lying around. Got any real side income, a 1099, an LLC, a little hustle? Forget the SUV. You reimburse yourself, tax-free, about 72 cents a mile for driving the boring paid-off Corolla you already own. 10,000 business miles. That's $7,250 back in your pocket, no tax, on a car that cost you $18,000 used. The real loophole's already in your driveway. One more sacred cow. Never finance, always pay cash. Half right. A $550 car payment, invested instead for 40 years, turns into about $3.5 million. That's the real price tag on a lifetime of payments. But if a manufacturer hands you a genuine 0% loan, taking it and keeping your cash invested can beat paying cash. So the rule was never cash or you're a sinner. It's, can you afford it? And is the loan short? Real quick, because this is where they get you. 2 rules. 1. Never negotiate the monthly payment. What can you do a month is how they bury an extra $1,000 and stretch the loan to hide it. Negotiate the out-the-door price, the whole number. 2. Walk in already approved for a loan from your own bank. So the dealer's got to beat a rate you already have. And buying new? Make them price it both ways, the 0% financing or the cash rebate. They love to hide one. Then, price agreed. They walk you to a second desk. The finance guy, suddenly the nicest man alive. Extended warranty, gap insurance, paint protection, some VIN-etching thing. Say no to all of it. That desk exists for one reason. It's where the dealership makes most of its actual money, selling you protection on a car that doesn't need it. A flat no thanks to everything there saves you $2-3 in about 90 seconds. So strip it all away. And here's the whole secret on one sad little keyring. Buy a 2 to 4 year old Toyota or Honda that already ate its depreciation cliff. Pay cash or finance it short. Then do the one thing nobody has the discipline for. Drive it into the ground. 10 years. More. Owning one reliable $25,000 car for 12 years instead of flipping a new $41,000 one every 5 puts more than $15,000 back in your life. That's the trick. It's boring on purpose. So back to that parking lot. The rusty pickup guy and the G-Wagon guy, peel the badges off, they're the same person. Neither one will lose money on a box of metal that only goes down. One just figured out how to look flashy doing it. You don't need the flashy part. So put the pen down, buy the boring one, keep the difference, and go be quietly, annoyingly rich. If this messed with how you see that shiny new car, hit subscribe, penny wiser, and I'll catch you in the next one.